I've told this story to exactly 2 people in my life. One of them laughed and told me I needed sleep. The other went silent and asked me never to mention it again. So I'm writing it here instead. Not because I want attention, not because I want sympathy, but because if you ever find yourself driving at night and you see a road that doesn't appear on your GPS, I want you to remember this. The job. 3 years ago, I was working temporary contracts, anything that paid enough to keep the lights on. One night, while scrolling through job listings, I found something that didn't make sense. Night road monitor, private contract. Location, assigned on arrival. Hours, 12 a.m., 6 a.m. Duties, observation only. The pay was high, too high. There was no company name, no logo, just a phone number. I called it the next morning. A woman answered. Her voice was calm, emotionless, like she was reading from a script. She asked if I was afraid of being alone. I said no. She asked if I could stay awake through the night without distractions. I said yes. Then she asked one last question. If you see something that doesn't make sense, will you look away? I hesitated. I guess, I said. There was a pause. That will have to be enough, she replied. The road. They sent me coordinates, not an address. The drive took me far outside the city, past streetlights, past cell service, into a stretch of land that felt forgotten. Forest on both sides, no houses, no signs. Then suddenly, the road appeared. A single 2-lane strip of asphalt cutting through the trees. No name, no markings. Just pavement. There was a small pull-off area with a parked trailer. Inside was my station. A folding chair. A desk. A radio. A notebook. A digital clock bolted to the wall. The only instruction waiting for me was written on a laminated card. Observe the road. Log anything unusual. Do not intervene. I laughed to myself. Easy money. That feeling didn't last. The first night. Nothing happened for hours. Cars passed occasionally. Normal ones, headlights on, engines humming, people going somewhere. At exactly 1:13 a.m., the first strange thing occurred. A car entered the road from the north. Old sedan, no headlights. It didn't speed, didn't slow down. As it passed my position, I glanced inside. There was no one in the driver's seat. The steering wheel turned on its own. I stood up so fast my chair fell backward. The car continued down the road and disappeared into the trees. I logged it as a mechanical anomaly and convinced myself it was some kind of optical illusion. I didn't believe that. The rules I was given. By the third night, I noticed patterns. Cars that entered the road never turned off. Cars that turned onto the road never came back. And some vehicles passed more than once. Same dents, same stickers, same cracked taillights. But the drivers changed. A man passed my station at 2:40 a.m. on the 4th night. He stared straight ahead, eyes wide, hands gripping the wheel so tightly his knuckles were white. 20 minutes later, the same car came back. This time, the man was gone. The seatbelt hung loose. Something sat in the back seat. Something tall enough that its head brushed the ceiling. I didn't log that one. I couldn't find the words. The first voice. The radio crackled just after 3 a.m. I nearly jumped out of my skin. It hadn't made a sound before. Station 3, a male voice said. I answered without thinking. Yeah. Silence. Then breathing. Slow, heavy, close to the microphone. I can see you, the voice whispered. I stood up and scanned the road. Nothing. The radio clicked off. I checked the notebook they'd given me. On the first page, written in small letters I hadn't noticed before, was a sentence. If it speaks first, do not respond. That was when I realized something important. This job wasn't about watching the road. It was about keeping it company. Night 7. By the end of the first week, I stopped sleeping well. I'd wake up hearing engines that weren't there. I'd dream of headlights shining through my bedroom walls. On night 7, a woman appeared. She stood on the side of the road. No car, no light. Just standing there. She looked normal at first, mid-30s, long hair, barefoot. As a truck approached, she stepped closer to the lane. I grabbed the radio. "Hey, there's someone on the road," I said. The radio stayed silent. The truck slowed. The woman turned toward me and smiled. Her mouth opened too wide. The truck didn't stop. It passed straight through her. She didn't move. She didn't blink. She turned and looked directly at me. Then she walked into the trees. I sat back down and threw up into a trash bag. The logbook. One night, curiosity got the better of me. I opened an older logbook from the filing cabinet in the trailer. Different handwriting, different years, but the same entries. Night 12, repeating vehicle observed. Night 19, voice on radio responded to my name. Night 31, I think it knows where I live. The final entry stopped me cold. Night 44, I can't tell if I'm watching the road or if it's watching me. There were no entries after that. The call. At 2:58 a.m. on my 14th night, my phone rang. No signal, no service. Yet it rang. The caller ID said, "Unknown road." I answered. "Please," a man said, panicked. "I've been driving for hours. The road won't end." My blood ran cold. I asked where he was. "On a road with trees," he said. "There's a guy sitting in a trailer watching me." I dropped the phone. Headlights appeared in the distance, coming toward me. The car that stopped. Cars never stopped on that road. This one did. It rolled to a halt directly in front of the trailer. The engine stayed running. The driver's door opened slowly. A man stepped out. He looked exhausted, dirty, eyes sunken. "I followed the lights," he said. "They said you could help." I shook my head. "I'm not allowed," I whispered. He frowned. "What do you mean?" Before I could answer, something moved inside his car. Something unfolded from the passenger seat. Too many joints, too long. The man turned slowly. It touched his shoulder. He screamed once. Then it pulled him back inside. The car drove away. Alone. The final instruction. At the end of my shift, the woman from the phone line was waiting outside the trailer. She looked tired. "Did it try to leave?" she asked. I nodded. "That's why you're here," she said. "Witnesses keep it contained." "What happens if I quit?" I asked. She looked at the road. "It finds a new way to be seen." She handed me a new rule card. Do not follow the road. Do not describe it in detail. And if you see yourself driving toward the station, leave immediately. The last night, on night 21, I saw my own car. Same dent, same plates. It drove slowly toward me. I didn't wait to see who was inside. I left. Aftermath. I moved cities. Changed jobs. Stopped driving at night. But sometimes when I close my eyes, I see headlights between trees. And sometimes when I check my phone at 3 a.m., I have a missed call from an unknown road. Still watching. Still waiting.